Not one, not two, but three overtimes here at Desert Financial tonight. ASU getting the job done against number 3 UCLA, 87-84. A must-win game for the Sun Devils tonight after this whole stretch of losing they've had over the past few weeks. I'm Nick Borgia, joined alongside me is our publisher, Hode Rubino at Devils Digest. Hode, what did you see out there tonight that just went so well for the Sun Devils?
Well, you're right, Nick. I mean, it really has been a tough stretch for ASU. It's been a tough season all along, obviously, but even just the last 4 games, not only does ASU lose the last 4 contests, but really, if you watch each and every game, there were really in it. I mean, there weren't like blowouts. There weren't games that were over by halftime by any stretch of the imagination. And look, I mean, nobody likes the moral victories. Bobby Hurley will be the first one to say it, but he did see the team making some strides against some really tough teams, U of A and USC among them. And coming into this weekend, I would say even probably long weekend that started Thursday and is going to end on Monday, ASU is going to have 3 meetings against three top 10 teams. They lost obviously again Thursday against USC, a game again they were in it until the very end and just squandered the lead in the last minute or so. But here against UCLA, I mean, obviously anytime you win a game in triple overtime, that shows a lot of resolve, a lot of grit. And let's be honest, those are traits I think that ASU showed almost in every game this year. Obviously doesn't have a whole lot of wins to show for it, but tonight, absolutely one of the best wins in program history, certainly under Bobby Hurley.
The Arizona State defense has definitely been a staple of their team for the majority of the season. Even looking back to last Thursday against USC, they held the Trojans to just 58 points. This is a team that's been averaging 74 per game. And then here tonight against UCLA in just regulation, held them to 62 points. That team's been averaging 75, so obviously the ASU defense has just been rolling for Arizona State.
Absolutely. I don't think this really was any different than the many other games that ASU played earlier this season. Like you said, they're really able to frustrate UCLA quite a bit. Unlike USC, this is a team that didn't have that much length, at least not in their front court. They actually have a starting lineup of technically 4 guards and 1 forward. Now, I'm not saying that ASU really had an easy time in the paint on either end of the court, but I really feel that their defense was able to frustrate UCLA at times. I think the ASU ended the first half really well. Really, for most of the second half, their defense definitely was able to carry them almost with the game and actually win in regulation. They came, really close to that. But make no mistake about it, just the way they started the second half. I mean, even though the win came much later in the night, I really think showed to UCLA that this ASU defense is really going to make their life quite hard. I think that UCLA I think had something like 12 turnovers or a figure pretty close to that. So I think that the pressure that ASU was able to apply, and especially in the last position of the game, again, it really was won by defense. So overall, it's nice to see a defense that has been playing so well for the entire season. Again, maybe not a great record to show for, but that's definitely the type of defense that ASU needed to employ tonight. ASU was holding opponents to 40% shooting coming into Saturday's contest. UCLA tonight, even after 3 overtimes, only shooting 37.2%. That is a huge story and a huge reason why ASU was able to come away with the upset win.
And now looking to the offense, ASU, that's something they've probably lacked in for the majority of this season, but tonight they came out firing and they actually doubled UCLA in their 3-point shots made. Something that's just been lacking, as I said, for the Sun Devils. And we look at Marion Jackson tonight, definitely coming clutch in making good shots in the overtime.
Yeah, but I really feel that the inside-outside game for ASU was really effective. 6 players in double figure scoring. I know you can look at the 3 overtimes and think that that's just a natural byproduct of it, but nonetheless, like you said, Nick, this is a team that definitely had a lot of issues on offense pretty much all season long. Marion Jackson, 24 points, which is a career high for him in an ASU uniform. Was 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. I thought Jalen Graham had an absolute monster game, and we talked a lot. And it seems like in the last couple of weeks that the strides that he has made in the last, I would say, 3 weeks now have been absolutely enormous. Jalen Graham is a player that was sick on Thursday, still had a great game against USC, and that illness, unfortunately, wasn't something he was able to get rid of really quickly. He did miss the morning shooter round today, and you really thought that probably doesn't spell a good game or even just an average game for any player when he has to go through really the last 48 hours, not being even close to 100%. And Jalen Graham, double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds. What impresses me even more, Nick, 6 assists. I think he's done a great job passing out of the double team. And tonight was just another example of that. Kimani Lawrence absolutely being a rock. Maybe playing better in the second half and in the overtime periods rather than the first half, but came very close to a double-double, 11 points, 9 rebounds. Alonzo Gaffney scored his first three-pointer since December 5th, and I know a lot of fans were kind of cringing every time he was attempting a three-pointer, but tonight at least like a couple of them did go down. And overall, I mean, it definitely was a better offensive performance for ASU. They still only they still only converted 40% from the floor, but overall, this was definitely a better team on that end of the court than we've seen in many games. Again, not to belabor the point on the defense, it definitely carried them throughout this game. There's no doubt about that. But I think the offense did come alive, especially when compared to what we've seen in the last I would say 3 or 4 weeks. And if this is an ASU team that can have a lot of contributors like the 3 players I mentioned, plus guys like DJ Horn and Jay Heath also scoring in double figures, this can be a really tough team to defend. A team where you just really don't know where you're going to pick your poison as far as who to cover and who to leave free. And again, I thought just the inside-outside game for Arizona State was really on point, because you got guys like Jay Heath and DJ Horn sometimes just had like absolutely open look for the baskets, usually from 3. And when those shots are falling down for the Sun Devils and they can play, as I mentioned, just the type of defense they've been playing all year long, that's how I end up with an upset win against number 3 UCLA.
Definitely good progress on the offensive side of the ball, but let's just take a look at this weekend schedule for ASU. I mean, we mentioned it a little bit, starting with USC on Thursday, UCLA tonight, and Arizona on Monday. They have their hands full.
Absolutely. 3 games against 3 top teams. I mean, Murderers Row might be even a kind description to what ASU is going through this long weekend. But I think this win definitely gives, on the one hand, a lot of momentum for ASU. Like I said earlier, I mean, they finally showed that they're rewarded for their good defense when their offense did come alive. And it's definitely a stretch for 3 games, Nick, that a lot of people looked at it and said, yeah, LLL. For ASU, at least to split until now, I think is a huge accomplishment for them. But now the challenge is to come off this huge emotional high in less than 48 hours to play U of A here Monday night at 7. I think it's really going to be quite a test, even more mentally than physically. Now, look, I mean, I think U of A is coming in a great momentum too, because they actually swept both LA schools in Tucson. So, you wonder like if they got their own emotional high to really come down of. But I think it's going to be a great game, and I think it was really important for ASU just to gain that confidence coming into the Arizona game. That game is going to be against only a top 10 opponent, but I think when the polls are going to be released on Monday, just a few hours before tip-off, it's probably going to be more of a top 5 opponent that ASU is going to face. So overall, I think it's going to be a real test for ASU to put this big win just aside and just have great practices Monday and Sunday, obviously too, and really come out firing. And let's not forget that just a couple weeks in Tucson, ASU played U of A really well, and again, it really was their defense that led the way. So on Monday, I think if their defense can still play at that level, but now be complemented better by their offense, we might see another top 10. It could have been even like a top 5 upset on Monday. But again, I think huge mental challenge, maybe more than a physical or X's and O challenge for Arizona State.
And with that, we will wrap it up. ASU taking down the number 3 ranked Bruins 87-84 here at Desert Financial. As you said, they'll look ahead to the Arizona Wildcats on Monday for another big-time matchup. But for now, I'm Nick Borgia for Hoder Bino and the rest of Devil's Digest. Thank you so much for tuning in.